I graduated from my high school in the top 10% of my class, and I actually got a scholarship for $1,000. That's all the top 20 students get. Yet I wasn't qualified for it because I wasn't a citizen.
The two public schools that I got into, UCLA and Berkeley, their hands were tied as public institutions because they get some of their funding from the federal government, or most of their funding from the federal government.
I guess it was in college when I first kind of noticed how bad it was. I was trying to apply for scholarships and they said only legal residents.
Colombia didn't want to deal with my situation, so they were telling me, well, if you apply as an international student and you don't have a visa, then your admissions is not valid.
19-year-old Piyash is one of the 65,000 undocumented students who graduate from an American high school each year. He is originally from Bangladesh.
We were like upper middle class in Bangladesh. We had our own house at the capital. I had my own room.
When he was 10, Piyash and his family moved to the suburbs of New Jersey.
All of a sudden, we're living with my aunts and uncles, and we're sleeping in the living room. And it was just like, why am I here? Like why, why am I in America? Like, to me, America was supposed to be the greatest place in the world.
Piyash adjusted to life in the U.S. He was a good student and was accepted to Rutgers University. But because he was an illegal immigrant, he didn't qualify for in-state tuition.
When I realized at the end of my freshman year of Rutgers that I'm not going to be able to afford one more semester of Rutgers, where I was paying out-of-state tuition, it was just a really depressing time for me. Just because I don't have a 9-digit code, my social security number, I don't qualify for anything.
Piyash enrolled in community college and began fighting for his rights in America. He joined an online forum dedicated to promoting the Development, Relief, and Education for Alien Minors Act, also called the DREAM Act. It would allow him and other undocumented students who graduate from a U.S. high school to obtain citizenship.
I think for undocumented youth who now know how the immigration system works, and they know how broken it is, and they know all the trauma that comes with it, you become politicized through that process.
26-year-old Tam is also a member of the DREAM Act Forum. She was born in Germany to Vietnamese refugee parents, and her legal status is complicated. Neither country considers her a citizen, so she can't be deported anywhere. Tam is currently a PhD student at Brown University, and although the school has been supportive, she doesn't know what she'll do after she graduates if the DREAM Act does not pass. It has failed all 4 times since it was first introduced in 2001. Protesters say the act would be granting amnesty, and that although kids shouldn't be punished for the sins of their parents, they also shouldn't be rewarded.
I've lived here for so long. I've been here since 1989. And I think sometimes what people don't understand is that even if I don't have legal citizenship in this country, I do have a cultural claim on cultural citizenship in this country.
It is impossible to estimate the number of undocumented students in colleges and universities because so many are afraid to reveal their identities. Some tell only the admissions office and hope they keep it a secret, while others pass themselves off as international students.
Shouldn't America expect more? Shouldn't America expect better from this college graduate and from the people with the MBAs and stuff and the JDs?
29-year-old Jong Min came from South Korea at the age of 1 and has a degree in criminal justice from the University of Tennessee. He currently lives and works every day at his family's grocery store in Brooklyn and hopes that once the DREAM Act passes, he can afford to go to law school.
There's a fear every day that you wake up and something happens and you get deported right then and there. And for my parents to live here about 30 years, or for me to live here about 30 years and to get shackled and to just be deported, I think it's shameful.
I am scared sometimes about revealing my identity.
Cynthia came from Mexico with her parents when she was 15, and after she graduated from college, she had no idea what she was going to do.
I think when I graduated from UCLA, I was ready to pack my bags and go somewhere. I have no idea where I was going. But I was so disillusioned with the fact that I had worked so hard to go through 4 years of college.
Last year, Cynthia was accepted to Columbia's Mailman School of Public Health. In addition to using her savings and maxing out her friends' and her friends' parents' credit cards, Cynthia figured out an enterprising way to help pay the $17,000 she needed for her first semester of graduate school.
I put a website together where people donate money to sponsor me for my tuition, and the money that they donate is tax deductible.
Cynthia says she's met other undocumented students at Columbia, but many of them are unwilling to go public.
It's funny because people always have an image of what an immigrant looks like, but when you're in college, a lot of people don't realize that you're an immigrant too, because they can't put it in context. Like, they can't put you in that context because you look exactly the same as them.
In the past, children of immigrants were called the second generation, but these undocumented youth are referred to as the 1.5 generation, halfway in between. They are born in one country but immigrated to a new country before or during their early teens, giving them time to fully assimilate. Piash, Tam, Jungmin, and Cynthia do most of their networking online and raise awareness for the DREAM Act by creating blogs, giving interviews for articles, and even through their Facebook profiles. They rally for the DREAM Act in Washington, D.C. and wherever else they can. Once it passes, they can finally do what they've always dreamed of doing.
I'd like to be a camera person for the Discovery Channel, for like a Planet Earth series.
I would like to go into public service.
I've always dreamt of being able to be a doctor.
I could be 40 and this never passes, but I will still have that goal of being a federal judge in the United States.